We just watched some video content with Tyrone from Tech Life on the T-Mobile and Starlink situation. Tyrone's video entailed a very basic position, right? T-Mobile doesn't have terrestrial cell network coverage, like the regular tower coverage. They have a partnership with Starlink to provide non-terrestrial network access, satellite coverage for texting. That's what they have. It's included in their top tier plan. They sell it as, I think starting in July, they're going to sell it for $5, $10, $15, or $20, depending on whatever the situations are. And people are testing it. They're doing the beta testing. They're going to locations where they know that T-Mobile doesn't have the actual terrestrial network coverage. And they've shown it. It's clearly in beta. It's kind of sort of unreliable. It cuts in and out. Sometimes it sends right away and sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of the growing pains of these network features, right? But what's really telling, and Tyrone made this very clear within his video, he mentions that in these instances where T-Mobile is relying on Starlink for that texting coverage, Verizon and AT&T have native terrestrial coverage. Now, what he was saying was that T-Mobile clamored, endorsed, and pushed their mission is when there's no available network, no terrestrial network at all, they're going to have this as a fallback. But the problem is that this is a violation of what they wanted to accomplish, right? Other companies have available networks and signal for data, calling, and texting, just normal usage. We're talking about Verizon and AT&T just having bigger networks, more available networks, where T-Mobile simply does not. My fear has always been that T-Mobile would potentially, I'm not saying that they've done this, I'm just saying potentially they would relax any of their ambitions to close the coverage gaps that they have with their competitors, AT&T and Verizon. Those things are well documented. The amount of square miles covered by T-Mobile is much less compared to AT&T and Verizon. Which takes me to kind of round this out. Tyrone is correct. In his statements, he said satellite will never beat terrestrial coverage. Not under normal circumstances, like usage and experience, latency, indoors, data demands, all those things. He's right. But when I'm reading the comments in his videos, there's a certain group of people who are saying things like T-Mobile's Starlink texting is better than nothing. The problem with that statement is just false and wrong. There isn't, it's not the case. There's not nothing. Verizon and AT&T have the coverage. The T-Mobile thongs and the magenta glasses are just delusional, and they're just not willing to want to spend their money. Their decision, it's their money. You just don't want to spend it with Verizon or AT&T. They want to spend it with T-Mobile, which means they're going to have a lesser network experience, and they're literally making that negotiation. They're saying, I'd rather have the smaller, less available network and just deal with whatever this is if I need it. And that's their prerogative, and that is their decision. It is their money. But folks, this is not a complicated topic. And the video that he made, he even had to do a second video. So I almost feel like I'm defending Tyrone, but his premise is clear and obvious. And it doesn't need or require a defense of the company. Verizon and AT&T have coverage in areas where T-Mobile doesn't. And this particular Starlink experience is not better than what AT&T and Verizon will give you in those instances. Unfortunately, people just aren't grasping that idea. It's not a situation of it's better than nothing. No, because there's something there. Two companies that offer something there in AT&T and Verizon. So the mission for T-Mobile was to get coverage when no networks are available, yet there are networks available. That's a basic idea. It's not that hard. I've been critical of the cost of the service. I've been critical of its limitations because it's only texting. And you guys know there's a lot of technical reasons why it's an unstable connection, and there's problems with that. But let's just be realistic about this. If another network is available and other providers are available, well, then how is this better than that? It doesn't even make any sense. And, I always look forward to reading your comments so you guys can drop them. But it's really not that hard of an idea. Tyrone's right on everything he said in his video. And I think just some people are delusional and they're just going to make excuses and be an apologist for a company, which doesn't even make any sense. Maybe they're investors of the company. Maybe, they own shares. Maybe they have some personal vendetta against the other two. People do get jaded from carriers when some bad experience happens. They played them on a bill, or they overcharged them on a phone, and they just can't let it go. We see that all the time. So maybe it's that type of situation, but we're just objectively viewing what's real. And, just some people, I think, have to get out of their biases and just call a spade a spade. And that's what we do here. And that's what I think Tyrone was trying to do too. But let me know. Drop me a comment. Like, share, subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notifications icon so you never miss an upload. Check out some more of our videos. There's a couple pinned here at the end. We'll see you guys on the next one.